So we're back for part 2 of our Beauty and Essex Vegancing from Home with the Share Cookbook.
Got a few more recipes today. Couldn't fit everything in day 1, so hope you enjoy.
Thanks.
Next on the list is actually Anthony's favorite thing to get at Mon Ami Gabi for brunch, but this is actually a Chris Santos recipe from Beauty and Essex. It's the triple-decker Croque Monsieur. Alright, so we're going to start by making a mustard bechamel sauce. And the first step is just chopping an onion. Alright, so we're going to start with 3/4 plus 2 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons of milk. And we're going to add our onion. And then we need 1/3 of a cup of cream. Exactly how much we have left. Mustard seed. We're just going to use mustard. Onion, nutmeg. Quarter teaspoon. Bay leaf, cloves, we're going to just bring this to a simmer. So our milk mixture has thickened up a little bit, so the next step is to strain it into another dish, or a bowl or measuring cup, just to leave the solid parts out. And then you squeeze everything out of the solids so that it goes back into the milk mixture. And then we're going to use the same pan to make the actual bechamel sauce. To make the bechamel sauce, we're going to melt 3 tablespoons of butter and add 3 tablespoons of flour to make a roux, just to thicken everything. You're going to cook this to make sure that the flour fully cooks, where we add the milk back in and some Dijon mustard. Alright, so we're going to gradually add our hot milk mixture back in. So you want to make sure that's really well incorporated. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of mustard. And we'll add some salt. Add a little bit of white pepper as well. All right, so now we're going to construct our sandwiches. So first we're going to take our bechamel sauce and we're going to spread it onto each piece of bread. Okay, and then we're going to take some shredded Gruyere cheese, like a Swiss, put that onto our bread. And then 3 slices of ham. Monster cheese. Okay, do you want a double or single layer?
Hashtag more cheese.
More cheese? Okay. So, in the cookbook, he recommends actually doing a second layer. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So we'll add another layer of our sauce. Another layer of cheese. As Anthony just said, hashtag more cheese for Pennies and Liz. And then we'll just do another layer of ham. I only have a couple slices left, so might as well. And then we'll do one more layer of Munster. And then we'll put our top slices on. So then these are going to be like a grilled cheese. So here we go. So we've got our butter going in the pan. Kerrygold butter, of course. The pan's been heating up. Go ahead and add our sandwiches. We'll just add 2 at a time for now, because we only have 3. It says to let the bread toast for about 5 minutes on each side. Our last recipe today is going to be a dessert. It's actually the French toast bread pudding with pumpkin maple syrup. Our first step is to cut our brioche bread into cubes. We need 8 cups of bread cubes. So about 1 loaf. Alright, then we have to lightly butter our 9x13 dish. Okay, our next steps are to crack 5 eggs into a large bowl. Add 1 1/4 cups of granulated sugar, and we'll whisk this together. We're making kind of a custard. Add 2 cups of heavy cream, 2 cups of milk, whole milk, and 1 teaspoon of one of our very favorite vloggers, cinnamon. And we're going to let this sit for 5 minutes.
Five minutes later.
Is to cover the pan tightly with foil. And the directions say to cook it in a water bath in a roasting pan, but we're just going to put a cookie sheet underneath. And we're going to let it cook for 30 minutes covered and 30 minutes uncovered.
Yep.
of sour cream. Two tablespoons of powdered sugar. And a 1/4 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And then we'll mix it all together.
Yep.
And this is supposed to sit at room temperature for an hour. Okay. So now we're just gonna cook it for 30 minutes uncovered. Alright, so now we're gonna make the pumpkin maple syrup. So we're gonna start out with 1 cup of pure maple syrup. Which feels like a lot. We're going to add that to a saucepan over medium heat. 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Two-thirds of a cup of pumpkin puree. That's 1/3. So all of the pumpkin in this is actually just in the syrup. So if you're not a big pumpkin fan, you can probably leave it out pretty easily. And then 1/4 teaspoon of pumpkin spice, pumpkin pie spice. We're just gonna whisk this all together till it's incorporated and gets warm.
Yep.
We are exhausted after all that cooking. There were a lot of steps. It was an hour between each step. But the recipes were so worth it. They were so good. So we had a great time making those. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Alright, so now we're going to make the pumpkin maple syrup.
Maybe.